Welcome to the B2T Show, where we empower Christian patriots with truth. This is Rick, your host. More details because it's like a 6-part series. It's probably going to be, and then we're going to go to international. So a lot of people have been asking me that. So I know, Gene, we're probably going to have a 10-part series here, I guess, by the time this is all done.
Oh, yeah. And we've got people probably watching from all over the world because I've had emails pretty much from everywhere now. So other than Antarctica and Russia and Ukraine, this is about everywhere now.
I'm going to slowly scroll through this. I had to read this one, though. Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And Gene put the armor of God here. I love this. A full, awesome pictorial of that.
High vibratory photography, but that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. This is talking about the 4 stages that we've been talking about quite a bit. I'm just going to tell me if I'm going too slow, Gene, or fast.
Oh, I'm perfect, Rick. Thank you.
Okay, here's some italics.
Yeah, so remove the evil darkness from under the Earth's surface. That means through all the tunnels, labyrinths, and caverns, and maintain supremacy therein. Stages 1 and 2 are mostly completed, so this stage here is what we're doing, stage 4 that we're completing. Thank you, Boston Bill, very much. Thank you for the super chat. And so in regards to a question I had through email, the way they went across the boundaries between the plates was the craft that do that in the tunnels from plate to plate, where they jump through the area where literally rock is coming up and being added. They're in a high level of stealth technology, which puts them fairly out of phase actually with the environment, so that they can literally go through molten rock without a problem.
All right. Talked about we're done stage 1, 2, and 3. Now we're into stage 4. We reviewed all this in detail in earlier shows, so go back to you'll see on obviously part 1 is where we went over all of this. We actually clicked most of these links. We get updated links. They all work now from in the latest documents that we'll post. Awesome pictures here of some.
Yeah, my research assistants and compilers do an incredible job. Vibratory and TCB, and I want to give prayers to TCB. His health is really bad right now. He's been pushing too hard. He needs to rest. So I'm kind of giving him time off and let him just, relax and rest for a while and get his body back up.
He tried to do all the Gene all-nighters for 3 nights in a row. It's probably we can't have we got to give our assistants some breaks here. Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah, most people aren't trained to do like we are in the military. I did 2 weeks of all-nighters, and this is the first day I've had where I actually slept through the night in 2 weeks. I do 20 hours or 30 hours without a problem, just due to my, over 20 years of military training of having to do that in the military, where you're up for 20, 30 hours at a time. So you get used to it. And once you get used to it, I was talking to TCB, and we both been up over 24 hours. He was going cross-eyed, and he goes, I was just like, I'm not really feeling tired. I'm used to it, training.
All right. I also want to mention that if you go to the 3 dots in your upper right of your desktop of the YouTube app, you can change the play speed, and then it's similar to the mobile if you find it. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but you get to the menu, you can change play speed and slow this down if you want to be reading everything. You can also speed it up if you want to get to the meat.
A little, Rick.
What?
Go up to the 3 parts. There you go. So there's 3 basic ways they build these tunnels and dumps. The mechanical, such as a water cannon, the thermal, such as high velocity laser, high velocity flame or atomic fusion or fission, advanced nuclear bombs, which are neutron that don't leave residual radiation, and then chemicals such as dissolver. And again, on my play speed, where it is on the YouTube for me, is the bottom right below the picture. Go ahead, Rick.
All right. So we're on page 22 of 139. That's how big this thing is. Thanks, Remnant House Ministries. We love you too. Here we are, rapid. This is a lot of the links showing that actually training for this, etc. Now we're the list of known DUMBs in the USA, and this is a real important part where the plus is underground. Under white hat controlled. The stars where children were rescued. This is where you can think of it as an arrow. It's under battle. The equal sign, like two negatives, is under black hat control. So that's what you can think of. Arrow is under battle. It's like the ampersand, and then the equal is under black hat control. The squiggly has been destroyed. Just think about, I guess, rolling hills because a building was turned into dust or something, right? So that's how you can remember what these codes mean for each one.
Good way to remember. I think of the equal sign as a double negatives. Mm-hmm. Black hats are more than a double negative for me, so I think of it that way.
Yeah, great. Now here's Alaska, Brooks Range, Delta Junction, Fort Greely. We're just going to kind of go through all of these really quickly. I don't know if you just want to say the name, because you probably pronounced them correctly. Mount Hayes.
Yeah, I'll read the names as go.
Okay.
I can't read that one anyway.
Okay, yeah, that gave you the hardest one. Luke Air Force Base, Gates Pass Base.
And on that, most military bases have a DUM under them. Almost every major airport in the world that's like for a big city or an international airport, it'll have a DUM. The big hospitals will have DUMs under them because it's a good supply of people they can do experiments on, especially if they don't have relatives that would check on them. And in that, also, if you have relatives that are in a major prison, I would check on them as often as you can, because that's a population that they can do anything to. And if they even wound up dead or dying, they can blame it on an event in the prison. So please, if you have people you care about that are in prison, a lot of people are in prison, up until now for minor crimes like Matt Damon was reading in Germany. I got some buddy from Germany that sent me it where it was translated into German. It had but he's speaking in English and had the German translation below. But he was saying, there, a lot of people are put in prison for minor crimes and things, and then the big powerful people aren't going into prison for what they should be going into, which is massive crime. And so that gives them a population they have total access to. So like the prison that's out here west of Denver area is a huge prison, and you can see the dumb stuff there. You can see it underneath that prison where they have the big, huge hills and mounds they build up with the entrances going in there. Thank you, Rick. Keep going.
All right. Do you want to say these Gila Mountain area, number 9 here?
Yeah. I just coast through them. Well, if there's something unusual, Hualapai, Rincon, I'll just say names that people that may not be able to say. Boynton Canyon, which is Sedona area. There's 2 in Sedona, one under the city and one in Boynton Canyon, Yucca Mountains. Wiki up.
Now we're in Arkansas. And I'm just thinking for the people on the podcast, Gene, that can't see this.
Well, we've been through all of these.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, California, Castle Hill Force Base, Base Camp Pendleton, 29 Palms Marine Base, China Lake.
So I can read every base if you want. Darwin City. So California, just read the bases. They go by Darwin City, Deep Springs, Fort Irwin, Edwards Air Force Base.
Pictures of a bunch of that.
Yeah, that's Edwards Air Force Base. George Air Force Base, Helendale, Los Angeles, under the entire city. Tehachapai has. Whoa, go back up. Go back up. Hey, I still missed something. Okay, Tehachapai Mountains. Oh, that's in the Tehachapai Mountain area by Los Angeles as well. Okay, never mind. I'm okay. Mount Shasta, Kern River, Napa Valley, Norton Air Force Base, Quincy near Palmdale, Presidio, San Bernardino, Santa Barbara County, Santa Rosa, Sierra Nevada Mountains, Catalina Islands, Chocolate Mountains, Death Valley, Lancaster, Lawrence, Livermore. That's a kind of a double facility. Moreno Valley, Morongo Valley, Mount Lassen, Lancaster, Llano, Needles, Palmdale.
Giving your voice a workout. Thanks, Gene.
Tehachapi, Cocoa Reef, Peak, Norton Air Force Base, Palmdale, and then Colorado, Alamosa, Book Cliffs, Boulder, Colorado Springs, that's NORAD, totally now under White Hat control, along with Denver and DIA. Cheyenne Mountain, of course, that's NORAD.
Entrance to it right there, or at least a tunnel. 25-ton blast doors. Woo!
Yeah, case hardened. Fort Collins, mentioned the Denver DIA complex. I got somebody that's in Colorado that just told me that works at DIA that said there's also buildings that are grade located north and east on the east and west side of the runways that just have a little gravel parking lot with usually you see just like one car sitting there. So that's tunnel elevators going down into the dome. Thank you for the person that sent me that information. I'm hoping you can send me photographs. I can put them on here. All the satanic stuff in the baggage claim.
Yeah, I'll mention this. This is a ongoing document. Gene and the researchers are going to continue to just update this. So,
yeah.
Talking about DIA and everything going on there. Pictures of DIA runways. It's in the swastika. Scary stuff. Dumb ton entrances at Grand Mesa.
Yep, Grand Mesa, Montrose Creed, Delta, Falcon Air Force Base, Gore Range near the lake, San Juan Valley, Telluride, Warden Valley, Montrose, Springfield, Grand Junction, Connecticut, Northwest Connecticut, Florida, Port St. Lucie, Eglin Air Force Base, Georgia, Atlanta, under the entire city, as well as the airport specifically is the major entrance, Thomasville.
This new stuff, Gene, here?
Yes. So Thomasville, scroll back up there. We'll start with the beginning of that dome.
Mm-hmm.
So Thomasville, with that location of the lawn you see there, it's a FEMA regional center. They also had, as most FEMA regional centers, they have search and destroy troops stationed in the dome, which are known as renegade civilian operational troops. The units are involved mostly are in foreign military. So scroll up, please, Rick. When martial law was to come into America after World War III, when they were planning Hillary getting in to nuke the U.S. and most of the world, these UNISF and UNIMNTF, which stands for United Nations International Security Forces and United Nations Multinational Task Forces, the troops located in these domes in the U.S. and Canada were to be deployed to round up millions of Americans. In other words, everyone who survived the nuclear war, whose the names would have, of everybody is either on a red list or a blue list. The red list means you're dangerous and just get rid of you right away. The blue list means you could be trainable and used for slave labor. These troops are Chinese, Russian, German, Polish, Japanese, Ukrainian, Saudi Arabian, Pakistani, Mexican, Honduran, Salvadorian, Chinese, Vietnamese, and other foreign trained military Delta forces, Mark Ultra Delta forces. They were to create and harbor and do the search and separation of all citizenry in the FEMA camps and the domes, along with mass executions for those that would be on the red list. And you can see my previous decode on that on FEMA camps, where I showed trains and cars with shackles and things on the bottom to take people to these areas, as well as mass coffins like on the border of Colorado and Kansas. There was big, huge areas like that. You can see it on, if you go on YouTube, and you can see many sites that have that.
ABC says that Walmart FEMA camp conspiracy is now fact, with a link there. You can.
Wow, ABC actually said that. ABC must be getting under White Hat control. That way they changed the link. Woohoo! Winning.
Of course, this is 2018, June 2018. This was, but wow.
2018, the article didn't say that before.
Okay. I gotcha.
Dobbins Air Force Base, and then Hawaii, Alimano Center, and it links through tunnels that went to all the bases under, for example, in Oahu, the military bases at Kaneohe, as well as the one by Mililani and the one Pearl Harbor Hickam complex. It also went to all the other islands, especially on Maui. There's a facility there that they were taking people from Maui. And so all the islands in Hawaii are essentially a dump complex.
You just listened to the Blessed to Teach show. You're now empowered with the truth.